coaching video. Thanks for subscribing, and remember to like the video if you like it. Today I'm going to talk about how to pace and improve your pacing when you're doing a rowing ergometer test, or really this could be for any kind of endurance sport, but it's specific to rowing because that's what this channel's all about. So the first slide I'm going to show you is a graph that I've prepared that demonstrates two athletes. One athlete is represented by the blue line and the other athlete is represented by the red line, and the green line here represents the average of the entire piece for this red athlete. So those are the three different lines and what they mean. On this side I've got the 500 meter split, and then on the x-axis I have the distance through the piece. So here at the beginning of the piece no meters have been rowed, and by the end 2,000 meters have been rowed. And I wanted to visualize this because I think the picture is really more helpful than just explaining it with words. What we've got here is, let's take a look at the blue athlete. And we're going to call that the untrained athlete, because what they're doing is they're starting off fairly well, and then they're continuing to drive the split very, very hard. And really by this point, 600 meters in, they are actually ahead of the red athlete. Okay, so that's good for them at that point. But what I'm demonstrating here is they're going too hard, too early in the piece, and then as a result, when they get to that third quarter, the splits really tend to drop off, and then towards the end of the piece, they have this big kick in at the end. Okay, so what you'll notice here is there's quite a variance in the split. So we're splitting anywhere between a 135 and a 152, 153 throughout the piece. So there's quite a big range of splits, and really the purpose of this video is to talk about consistency. In the red line, what we have here is a much more evenly distributed line. I'm proposing that this looks a little bit more like what a piece should be structured like. So they're going off hard, and then they hit their stride stroke, and there's a blog about the stride stroke on this blog, so if you want to look for that. And once you've strode effectively, then they're hitting the split very, very consistently. And then when they get to 1,000, 1,100, they're actually dropping a second off the split and driving that through to 700, 600, 400 to go, and then they've got their sprint. And so what that does is it averages out to be this split if they put absolutely every single stroke at a 139.2, which is what they've done. So what this represents is an athlete, the blue line represents an athlete who's rowing a 143 2,000 meter piece, and then this line represents a 139.2 average split. And as you can see, what we're aiming for is this. So the question is, how do you get to that point? How do you learn how to pace the erg workouts? Well, I think a really effective workout is the 10-minute piece. It's aerobic anaerobic threshold piece, and you could do 3 10-minute pieces, for example, and row those 10-minute pieces and then have 10 minutes rest in between, and you could row them flat out and try and see if you can do the best you can. But I don't think that's helping with pacing, particularly if you're the blue athlete here who's trying to learn how to pace themselves early but be consistent, certainly over the second half of the piece. So here's what I'm proposing. This is a series of 3 10-minute pieces. So each one of these lines represents a 10-minute piece. And I've broken the piece up into 5 different segments. 0 to 2 minutes, 2 to 4 minutes, 4 to 6 minutes, 6 to 8 minutes, and 8 to 10 minutes. And what we're doing here is we're taking the split that you should be pulling off of your 2K split. So for example, if you have a 7-minute 2K, then your average split for that 7 minutes is a 145. So if 145 is your 2K split, then for the first 2 minutes, you're going to row at, so 145, you're going to row at 159 for 2 minutes, which should be quite easy to do, or relatively so. And then in the second section, from 2 to 4 minutes, you're going to row at a 157. And then from 4 to 6 minutes, you're going to row at a 155, a 153, and then your final 2 minutes, which is your toughest, is a 151 split. Okay, so again, we're obviously not trying to row the 2K split in a 10-minute piece. That's not realistic. But what we're doing here is we're gradually building the split and building the power as the piece goes on. And so a few things are happening in this, and we do the same piece for the second one after 10 minutes of rest. Then the third one's a bit of a challenge. Can you do it on the third one? This time we're starting plus 12 seconds, so you would actually start that at 1:57, and then here is plus 4, so you'd actually finish trying to do the last 2 minutes at a 1:49, which is quite challenging. And if you can do that, great, but it's supposed to be a little bit of a reach to push you towards the end of the piece. So what are the effects of this workout? The features, there's 4 different things I think are good about this workout. First of all, the workout is tailored to the individual rower. It's not a team-wide benchmark, so regardless of your weight or your gender or whatever it is, you're basing it off your best, okay? So there's a lot of your personal growth here, okay? So greater potential to praise that personal growth from the coach's point of view, from a teammate's point of view. So I think this is quite helpful. This is an individual workout. Everybody's on the same protocol. The other thing here is you're having to hit a certain split. So you're being kind of forced into actually being consistent and pulling splits within a certain zone. You want to be continuing to row a consistent split. So again, that helps with ultimately rowing a 2K more consistently. The other thing that happens here is that the athletes get faster as the piece progresses. So this encourages negative splitting. So the negative splitting is, you go for your first half of your piece, and the second half of your piece is actually faster than the first half of your piece. So that's negative splitting. So that's a good way to train, because at the 1,000-meter point in your race, you want to be able to kick it in a little bit harder and really, make a move and accelerate and really find out which crews have done the training and which ones haven't, or at least not as well. Number 4, those rowers who, again, have a tendency to expend too much energy and not pace themselves are given an environment that reinforces that pacing and control, so that when it comes to do 2K pieces, they are, a lot better off in terms of their pacing. So this is just one solution. Obviously, there's other training you can do. There's lots of steady state work and all the rest of it. I'm not just saying just do this one, and not saying don't do the anaerobic work or the alactic work. I'm just saying here's a good suggestion to help you pace that 2,000-meter piece, that 1,000-meter piece, and hopefully it helps. So thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you like it. And for more information and blogs and posts just like this kind of thing, head over to coachbergenroth.com, and I'll see you online. Thanks for watching.